there's a level of our world that says if you're not doing it big, you're not doing it. Right? Success means you're rich. No, success means you pay your bills doing what you want to do. That is actually success. If you are living a middle class life, but you live that middle class life doing the thing you enjoy, you are successful. Then you can talk about the levels of success. But the base level of success is living life doing what you want to do.
Thanks for listening. This podcast is sponsored by PWCC Marketplace. PWCC is the vault company that I personally use to store all my collectibles, my sports cards, my tickets, my memorabilia. In addition to their vault services, I also use them every Sunday. They have auctions that close at 7 p.m. Thank you so much, PWCC. You guys are incredible. Director X, my man, thank you so much for jumping on. I appreciate you. You are obviously a titan and a great friend, and I'm just honored to have you on. So
I'm
welcome.
happy to be here, man. Thanks for inviting me.
Good to see your face. It's been too damn long.
Yeah, bro.
You're in LA now. Are you full time there?
I'm not full time. I'm just out here doing a little this and that, you know. But,
okay, I like it.
Yeah, things are good. Can't be mad.
Obviously, you're the best music director of all time, and you've
Clearly.
done 100%. So, what's your favorite? What are your, let's say, top 5 music videos? I know you also do a tremendous job in features, but what's your top 5? I guess music videos.
Let's say Hotline Bling, Sean Paul. So Drake, Hotline Bling, Sean Paul, Give Me the Light, Usher, You Got It Bad. Those are the first few that come to mind. Also, top 3.
And I mean, what a top 3 that came to mind. Those are insane. So how did you get going? Like what? So you're obviously from Canada. I mean, did you grow up with family in the industry? No,
none of that.
I think that's the whole point. A lot of people that are listening, they're the same way. So how did you get going? What happened?
For me, look, my family is an immigrant family, especially my mother. She's from Trinidad, so West Indian immigrant. So if any of y'all got that kind of background in your life, your family's like, okay, so that's cute art. That's a hobby. But when are you going to become a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer? When are you going to get a real job? And, so, yeah, not in the arts. But funny enough, my father used to draw when he was young. My mother would dance when she was young. Nothing like professional, but she'd dance around the house. And when we got older, she started painting. So there's art in the blood of my family, but not in the opportunities in the careers of my family until now, right? And now my older sister, she was a dancer. She went to the Royal Winnipeg Ballet School. She left, but my younger sister, was part of a modern dance company. And you know what I'm saying? So I think there's a lot of people in the world that have this in their blood, but they don't have it again. They don't have it in their opportunities. And then from there, you just go out. And for me, it was making my art and showing people.
Did anybody say, go do that? Like, go ahead, you can do anything? Or they were kind of saying, no, don't?
No, it was clearly no, don't.
Yeah.
We didn't exist in a world where we understood these things. And no one ever says to you, you like that chair? Because an artist made it. You like that house? An artist made it. You know what I'm saying? Art was always paintings and maybe music, and hunger. Starving artists was what people think of when they think of the arts.
So you're a rebel because everybody's telling you to go do the traditional route, and you're saying, I've got my own path, and I'm going to take a leap and do it.
Yeah.
How old were you when you did that? Did you go out? Did you have like a camera and go and just jump into that, or was it start with photography?
Back then, music videos happened on film, right? The technology did not exist when I was a kid.
And we're talking like 1998. That's when you kind of...
Yeah. And so in the mid-90s, it was impossible. If you were just a regular person, you could not shoot something with what was like a video camera and then take a song and put the images on top of the song and have your lips move in sync with the music. That wasn't possible. Period. End of story.
So you had to shoot it with the music playing while you're shooting
it. You just didn't do it. You know what I mean? Like, you just didn't do it. But I've always had an understanding of it. I remember doing a project where I shot it and I cut it together, and the way I did the sound, right? It wasn't a music video. We did a retelling of Edgar Allan Poe's Telltale Heart, right?
Okay.
So what I had to do is I hooked up a VCR. My friend was a DJ, and I had figured out how sound worked. So the way you would edit it, you would actually have to edit with two VCRs. One was recording and one was playing, and then you'd have to figure out the delay. And so you cut it together, and then I took that tape. So I'm already lost a generation of quality going from one VHS to another VHS.
Right.
Take that tape, run the audio through a DJ mixer, and it was like old radio. I'm narrating, I'm scratching, my friend is turning in order to get sound that was not the sound that you recorded on the thing. This is what I had to go through to make that happen. That's what we could do. We had to outsmart the machinery we had to make things happen. Back then, you needed professional equipment, period. You know what I mean? So to get a video, you're not just like, hey, let me do your video. You have to give me a few $1,000s at minimum.
Well, how'd you get that money?
Luckily for me, Canada has a bunch of grants programs. So Canada has two things going on. They have a thing called CanCon. So living next to America and speaking English, if you don't incentivize the machine to play Canadian music, they might not. So they have a law that says 30% of everything you play has to be Canadian music, right? Or has to be Canadian content, which is fine for the radio. Anybody, people can get into a studio and record a song. They had a couple good rock bands. But for music video now, when music video came into the picture, not everyone has, you might have money to record a song, you ain't got money to record a video. So they started a fund that you could apply to and get a couple like 10 grand, 12 grand Canadian to shoot something.
But dude, just to be able to find that and apply for it, I mean, that's no slouch that's doing that, right? So you were hungry even back then. I don't know how old you were, but
yeah. Oh yeah, and I mean, look, it wasn't easy to get. They turned me down and turned me down and turned me down. In fact, my first one I ever did was a friend of mine said, "I know you've been trying really hard. Let's do this. We'll do one together." I got the grant, and he felt guilty because the guy he got the grant for was someone he met through me, because I was hitting up everybody.
What were you doing though before that? Were you in school? Were you?
I was drawing. I used to draw. I thought I was going to be a comic book artist. Then I thought when I was in junior high, I thought I was going to be a comic book artist. Then in high school, I discovered. I started drawing flyers for people and making logos. So then I thought I was going to be a graphic designer. And near the end of that, I discovered music videos. Right when I went to my post-secondary, I did this program at Much Music. So I was actually at the music station. That's when I saw the cameras and the lights. You know what I mean? And
wow.
After that, I went to New York City. I got an internship with Hype Williams. And through that internship is where I really learned about filmmaking. And
but you were doing the thing in Canada before you moved to New York, and that's where you got the grant and you started to move.
I did the New York thing and then got the grant. So I was in New York just going. Like it was a long journey. It was a long journey. I did shoot a poetry video, a music video for a poem that a friend and I did. I used to do some spoken word, and I did it while I was at Much Music. So I was able to get help. Like one of the cameramen shot the performance, so it looked better than a normal video camera. And then I did the edit with one of the editors there. So the guy were talking, and the words in the mouth were moving together. Unheard of. You know what I'm saying? They're dissolves in slow motion. So I had what you now can get on your phone. I had to go into I had to work at a television network at a station and call a favor from an editor who saw, hey, kid, part of the beauty of doing this when you're young is that people are like, oh, shit, who's this 18-year-old kid out here hustling? Yeah. Hey, I'm an 18-year-old kid, and want to help me? And they're like, sure. You know what I'm saying? Someone might say, I'll give you a shot. I'll help you out. So
yeah, in college, I used to call CEOs and ask them for advice and say it was for a project, and they're happy to help you.
Yeah, exactly. So there's something about getting your hustle young I do think that's important. I don't not necessarily make it young, but if you're compelled to do something, and that's what I keep follow your compulsions, right? You're compelled to do that.
Yeah.
Someone would say, you know what you should do, Rob? You should call. And you go, oh, sure. It wasn't, the effort wasn't in the motivation. The effort was in the execution. But you didn't have to say, God damn it, God. It's not going to the gym or eating healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're compelled. I was compelled to draw, compelled to make art, compelled to chase the thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, what was your first, what did it for you? So you're hustling, you get this grant, you go to New York, you're learning the business in New York, you get the grant, so you're compelled to do this. And then where did you go from zero to hero? Or was it a slow grind?
It was a grind. I was an intern. I ran packages in the rain. I'll go pick up money. A big test in my life was like, go pick up $40,000 in cash. Go to the accountant, and they gives me the 4 bricks. You know what I'm saying? 4 10K bricks. And they gave me their car. Like, Hype really treated me like family, right? So take this Range Rover, and my girlfriend was in town. So imagine, so my girlfriend from Toronto came to see me. So take this Range Rover, drive to the accountant, and pick up $4,000. So I'm now in the Range Rover with 40 grand and my girl. Like,
wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe we just keep driving. Yeah, it felt like a moment. You know what I'm saying? It felt like a crossroad.
Yeah. But, it was. I mean, everybody's tempted all the time, and you have to decide, do you want the long term or do you want to take the short term cash?
Yeah, for sure. And, that was definitely like I said, it wasn't major. I know I never would have done it, but even the thought, just like, wow, he was never in my life. Especially, I'm just some guy from Toronto, right? The idea of having $40,000 at all, let alone having it in your hand in cash. This before rappers were doing any of this shit. Yeah, these were not thoughts you thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How'd you get that internship? Because he's an icon too. I mean, how in the world did you get that?
Persistence. I mean, I sent them a package. I called every day. I took a trip to New York with this summer group I was part of. Called them from New York. They, went to the office when no one was giving me to get my shit back, honestly. When it felt like they were fucking me off, like, how about I get my shit back? You know what I'm saying? I sent them a T-shirt that I designed, and the video, and then they're there. I go, you're going to watch it. There's no one in the office except for one guy. Watch it. You have to watch it. You watch this. Someone's watching this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he watches the video and goes, wait a minute till the producer comes back. And the producer comes back, says, all right. And I say to her, I know I'm good enough to work for free. I wasn't full Kanye with myself, but I knew I was good enough to work for free. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, come back in a month. And I came back in 2 weeks. And again, trusting your instinct and the esoteric part of this, you know what I'm saying? There is some higher power. The day I came was the day she quit.
Wow.
If I had come when she said come, she would not have been there.
Wow.
So, you know what I'm saying? Again, that compulsion, that voice that speaks to you, you need to follow it. You need to go with it. Right?
Yeah.
These are important.
Well, I think 2 things. That, obviously, but also do things that other people aren't doing and hustle more than other people. And you sending and staying on top of it and sending a T-shirt, a thing. Like, most people just get lazy. They send an email, and they're like, he didn't email me back. I didn't get it.
Yeah, and again, when you're young, you can be persistent like that. I mean, you can always be persistent, but your level of persistence at 30 is not the same at 8. There's nothing cute about, you know what I'm saying? Especially in how you do it, right? I wasn't. Again, did you look? My question was, did you see it? I sent you something. I'm very surprised at how much people just say, "Hey, I want to do something. Hey, I want to be in the film business."
Yeah.
Okay. And what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Again, they didn't bring me in because I asked them. They brought me in because, like, oh, this kid has some talent.
Yeah.
I'll let him work for free. I'll let him go and grab my packages, and you know what I'm saying? All that. Pause on that comment. But it's real, man. It's so I got to write that down. I have a bunch of innuendo jokes that I always got to keep for a thing I'm working on. I don't know if you caught it. Grab my package.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Pete Rose, I interviewed him, and he's a famous baseball player. I don't know if you know who the guy is, but I said, what's your favorite position that you play? 'Cause he played a lot of positions. And he said, you're the first guy that's ever asked me for my favorite position.
Yeah, I'm writing that one down too.
Yeah, no, he was hilarious.
But then there's again, I think it's two things. It's persistence, and how are you being persistent? Like, it's trying to find a balance between, like there's a guy who's like, give me a number, I got to talk business with you.
Yeah.
And, I look at he looks somewhat legit. He has a blue check mark on his Instagram, but I don't know him. This was weird. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to do film. Hey, I'm looking to be just a lot of asking for.
Yeah.
With no, like, what are you bringing? Because you know this deal. At some point, with certain people, when you have friends that are so doing it, sometimes even bringing them an opportunity, like it's not, hey, do this for me. Sometimes like, hey, this thing I'm doing that might benefit you, even that feels like an imposition. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah.
You're this big guy. And so, and that's just saying, hey, would you be interested in this opportunity? It can get weird, let alone you give me your time. Give me open your doors to me. I just don't find that. I don't know why that would be attractive, and no one really someone needs to point it out because you're not thinking of it. You're so caught up in, I'd love to be your protege, as opposed to, hey man, I fucking know every editing program. I do special effects. Here's all my work. Can I work for free? Can I work for $10 a day? Can I be your intern? That's another conversation versus I want to intern for you.
Great advice. Because I get the most random things. Hey, I want to propose this business to you. I'm like, well, just send it to me. I don't have 15 minutes to talk to you. I don't know you. We don't know you. And then they think that you're kind of a jerk. But what's important to me is I already have a lot of friends and family that my time is so valuable that I want to give it to them. If I can read over the proposal and already tell you it's not for me. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Anytime let's do this general advice. Anytime you can make it easier for people, I just got a show greenlit. It's a modern day
Congratulations.
Robin. Thank you very much. Robin with a Y. And
what
a big part of that, Robin, it's ROBYN. Robin,
okay.
Robin Hood. And a big part of how we got that done, a big way where we got the Robin Hood thing greenlit, or even people interested. Because when you're doing, the deal, when you're doing big projects, there's all this work you got to do to be able to show somebody that I have something that, would you like to be involved in this, Rob?
Yeah.
This work I've done. I've written something. And then now you say, I'm into it. Now let's go find another person that might be interested in what we're doing, that might have more money to put into this thing. And then, okay, now us three got to go to even more big money.
And I've seen your work ethic. I saw a pitch deck that you did before, and it was the freaking best thing I've ever seen.
Right. And that's just to get to the level. It takes a lot of work to get there. And now what I do is I shoot sizzle reels. With our technology, I can now sit down, do an interview, talk about the project. Then we edit it together with movie footage and all kinds of things. So instead of sit down and read this thing for however long it takes you to read, you have 4 minutes. I've taken this big, long document and put it into a 4-minute video. But that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah. Now it's a presentation that looks great, and you've put effort into it already.
We put the work in. Now on doing it for the level that I'm talking about, it costs us money. You know what I'm saying? It costs a couple grand to do it. So again, building a people, and someone is going to say, I'll put down the 5-10 grand. I'm going to make my guy do it. But that's time. Everything is money and time. Yep. If you're young and hustling, take the time to do it yourself. That's fine. But just another way to do it. And every step you take, I've always been to the point that I'm looking into the future and looking at possibilities. What if we did this way? What if we did this that way? And sometimes it's so different, people just can't take how different the idea is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for my things, okay, all right, let's do this sizzle reel. Because I started doing it when I did Superfly, we made one of these things. But
Great
they
movie,
made
by
it.
the way. You crushed
Thank
it.
you very much. They made it that when they said to me, we make this to show for product placements and money. Like they don't make it to sell the movie. They're making it to, now that the movie's getting made, let's go talk to Cadillac and let's go talk to Pepsi. And here's the thing they make. I'm like, why aren't we using this to sell projects? So you know what I'm saying? I don't think we're using this in the right way. So now when I do a project, I do one of those. Here's 4 minutes. You got 4 minutes? Here's the idea. And to back all that up, I have stories fully written and pages of, you know what I mean? Like if you're interested in the 4 minutes, well, the next step is for you to read this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And away we go down that rabbit hole. So for a new generation that really understands technology, really understands part of the beauty of being young is that to some degree, no matter how much on the pulse of things you are on the pulse of things. You right? Whether you're all the way of the coolest guy that walks in the room and everyone copies your fashion and all the cool people, you're cool in the cool world of cool, all the way down to you're not at all cool. And you like, cool. And you like all this weird nerd shit. But guess what? And when I was growing up, all that weird nerd shit became cool and became the thing. So, you know what I'm saying? You're on the pulse of whatever it is you. So walking in as a young person with your shit together, there's an attraction for every corporation to say, oh, fuck, this kid will help us.
Yeah.
Connect with what the fuck is going on. Let alone if you come in there with a skill set that says, and I can use you in the business. And then the second layer is you're also going to be the kid that can walk in. That shit's corny. No one wears those anymore. You know what I mean?
What's a program you think these young kids or anybody, what's your favorite program that they can just use that's not $10,000 or any recommendation there?
What program? Young people, what?
Yeah.
You tell me what program you're using. It's the other way around. You feel what I'm saying?
You want to know what's on the pulse for them.
Right. I want to know what's on the pulse. And then there's a level of, you're 19. There's certain shit I should not have to tell you. There's certain parts in the hustle that I'm like, where's your hustle then? And I'm sure you have the same thing. Hey, I'm trying to get into business, but you don't know that?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few basic steps.
But there are definitely some cheat codes that I have figured out over the years that if I would tell people, hey, use this, man, it saved me. You know, it's like you get kind of small information from people and you're like, wow, that is game changer. I didn't even know that existed. I
get that. I've come to the point, I remember I was talking about director, my protege, Karina, which is always weird to say because she's with or without me. She's always been so talented. But she came into our world, Karina Evans. She directed In My Feelings for Drake and Nice for What, and exploded. Now she's directing episodes of Snowfall and she's directed the pilot of HBO's Gossip Girl. Like, she's out of here.
But the way that you, by the way, talk, I met her, I think, at the house in LA with you, right? And the way you speak about her is just so incredible because you put people up. You want to help people. And by the way, I just want to say that's amazing. One of the amazing things about you. I
appreciate it. But at the same time, she deserves to be up. Again, it's not all me for people like you should direct the pilot to HBO.
People get competitive and someone good is coming up and maybe they'll be like, screw this person because they want to hold on to their own credit.
And if you find yourself in that, you need to check that because I've had opportunities now that come through Karina. Because again, she's 20 something, right? So we need a hot new person. Hey, hot new person, want to do the hot new thing? I can't do the hot new thing. Want to talk to my mentor?
Yeah.
And suddenly now I'm getting an opportunity for the hot new thing through my kid.
Yeah, it's a great way to live. And people don't realize that, but that's how giving.
I've had I can think of 3 of my interns that have come to pick me up in their luxury. One picks me up in their Lamborghini truck or Ferrari truck. The other one picked me up in their Benz. The other one, you know what I'm saying? They're Jimmy Iovine used to sweep the floors at the studio.
Yeah.
So these people that are around you, whether they're just coming in or they're already there, this is your birds of a feather. So there's a part of you that just needs to think, if whoever you're around, it's birds of a feather. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Y'all flock the word. These are all right. This is who's around me, just through the universe. Like I said, the esoteric chess playing of the universe. They're around you. They're around you for a reason. That means you are birds of a feather. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just back it up. But like I'm saying now, I was doing an interview and talking about how Karina hustled, and there's an intern that heard me say it, and then started trying to match what that was, and it didn't quite land. There's something off about the energy about it, right? Because Karina wasn't doing something she had heard. She was doing something she was compelled to do. Where the intern was trying to copy something she had heard, which can be legit in its own way, which is fine. But at the same time, I now do. I'm not quite as free when I talk about, hey, you should do this and hey, you should do that. You know what I mean? It's. Do you remember in school? Did you ever do the thing where you incubate eggs to grow like a little chick? So when I was in grade school, they gave us some eggs and incubated the eggs. And one of the explanations, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but they say you can't, if the chick is trying to get its way out of the egg, if you help them out, you're going to kill it. That getting out of the egg is a strength building process.
Okay, makes sense.
That you have to, that chick has to go through. And if they can't do it, they're going to die. And if they can't do it, if you help them out, you feel what I'm saying? If they can't make it out of the egg, they're not making it out of the egg. And even worse, if you help them out of the egg, you've killed them. Because now
you want to help them.
You want to help them? Oh, let me help them.
Yeah.
So there are some times when helping doesn't help. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes letting your deadbeat friend sleep on your couch isn't helping them. I have a friend like this. He used up all his couches. Couch to couch to couch to couch, and then he ended up sleeping on park benches. Wow. But he had that. But now he has a home in the suburbs. He has the car. He takes care of 3 kids. He's in the film industry. He's an upstanding citizen, and you know what I'm saying? Member of society. And he never would have gone there if he had more fucking couches.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like sometimes you have to hit the floor to bounce up. You have to.
I mean, that's advice I'm sure every family can get use out of.
Exactly, and I think there's also that. And when these kids come around, sometimes you're not helping by telling them the cheat code. Yeah, or telling them the shortcut. Sometimes it is figure it out, because it's my business is if for the fact that you are on a set, I know you figured something out. You know what I'm saying? For the vast majority of people who are on set doing something, you figured it out because there's no real way in to this fucking business. At some point, you got to figure it out, and that's the key because the business is a figure it out business, right? I got 10 minutes. I need this. I need that. The clothes ripped, and that's not the same size, and the car won't start, and the lights won't turn on, and the location here's a bunch of figure it out people, and we fucking figure it out. So if you're a not figured out person in an industry that requires figuring it out. But you got in because someone said, hey, come in this way.
Yep. Yeah. When was the first one that you kind of jumped on and you were like, kind of, holy shit, I can't believe I'm here?
Oh, even when I was an intern, answering the phone. I would answer the phone in the office, and every day someone would say, how do I be an intern? And here I am, the intern.
Yeah.
Right? So from right from jump, I'm like, oh, wow. Look where I am. I'm at a place where a lot of people want to be.
Okay, when you got your first check, like your big boy check, like the big one for you, how much was that, and what did you do? Did you call your parents? Did you go buy some shit? What did I mean, or did you put it in the bank and just live normally?
Yeah, it wasn't. Oh my God, I've made this money. It went in a bank, and I just was moving, you know what I'm saying, and going on. Yeah. And I remember it accumulating. I remember once going to the bank, and I had it all in my checkings account, and I was getting some money out, and the person was like, why do you have this much money in a checking account? Yeah. There's a lot of things you should be, you know what I'm saying? But, again, look, bro, I grew up like a middle-class kid in the suburbs, right? And back then, rich meant Rolls Royce. No, not even then. There was you had a Mercedes.
Yeah, yeah.
You were big things if you had a Pathfinder. Like there's an early Jay-Z video where they're all outside with Pathfinders. And you still have bottles of champagne, but a Pathfinder.
Did you film
that? No. Oh. This was back when I was like a teenager. You know what I mean?
Okay, got it.
Again, This early back, you remember when having a Pathfinder was like having a Ranger,
Yeah.
and having a Mercedes was like having a Bentley, because we didn't know Range Rovers existed. There's a world of rich that was so rich you had to be rich to even know what it was. A Pathfinder was our Bentley. Like, you know what I'm saying? When we knew about Rolls Royces, we'd never heard of Bentleys. You know what I'm saying? Like there was rich, accessible rich. You have a Mercedes, you're rich. And then there's Hollywood fantasy rich, where you have Rolls Royces and giant mansions. And that was just a thing that you would never get close to. But now we live in a world where everyone's doing money, and the popular culture is so, like, rappers didn't talk about money back then. Rappers spoke about, you had Public Enemy talked about the community. De La Soul and Tribe Called Quest talked about fun stuff. And then gangsters talk about gangster shit. But there's no one saying, and occasionally someone would talk about money, but even then it felt like it wasn't, I'm Jay-Z and I am a billionaire.
Yeah, it wasn't authentic.
I mean? Yeah, so now the obsession with money and all that is ingrained into our culture, and to positive and negative of it all. We've never, with social media, we're just inundated now with motivational people and money people, and it's just a whole other thing. But when I was young, that wasn't part of it. There wasn't a material chase going on.
Okay, so you had this money in the checking account. Now looking back, what advice would you give to yourself, that young kid that made some money? He's got it in the checking account going, why the hell is it all this money in the checking account? Like, what would you
go buy some? I told myself to go buy some real estate.
You'd say buy real estate.
Go get some real estate. So that, because you just have it and you're like, but no, go get some real estate. That probably would have been the smartest choice I ever could have made. But real estate prices were far different.
Yeah. Now, do you go, because a lot of people, they get this money. Let's say, you sign an NBA contract, you don't know what to do. You go buy real estate. Are you saying, do you go get a loan for the real estate? Because I've had conversations with a lot of guys that don't even know you can get a loan for real estate. They have all this money and they think you have to have cash. So do you recommend leveraging and getting a loan for it?
I'm not a businessman like that. I know my business is art, right? That's what I've dedicated myself to. And the universe has said to me many times, stop trying to do anything else but art. We're not trying to start a business or do a thing. It's not, you need to, again, what are you compelled to do? I'm not compelled to do, I have ideas, but I'm not compelled to do it the way I'm compelled to write out 8 seasons of a Terminator thing. You know what I'm saying? Or a new, like, beyond my own ideas. I'm compelled to write the stories. I'm compelled to do modern day Robin Hood. I'm compelled to do these things. This is where I want to spend my time and spend my time. And yes, I'm just going to trust in the universe of it. I know in this current culture, everyone's like, oh, you got to be a businessman. Everything flows back to being your own little corporation. If they feel compelled to do that, they should do that. But I'm not an athlete where my fucking income ends at 30 years old. I'm a director. I'm a creator. I'm a producer of these things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My longevity in my business can go to the day I die.
You make this money and no one's ever taught you what to do with the money. Because everybody you grew up with didn't know either, right? Because you grew up in the, a middle-class family who doesn't know what to do either because they never had that money to learn. And now you just say, I'm going to make money my whole life. I don't need to know. I'm just going to buy real estate because that's all I've been taught.
I think there's a part of this that I do wish in my 20s, who I wish really came to me and said, let's talk about this shit, is my parents, right? My parents have their shit together, but they just assumed I was doing my shit correctly. They just assumed, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to, here's how this works, at least on the middle class level. There's a lot of people on a middle class level that have secured their retirement and secured their life insurance, and they've done, you know what I'm saying? They get this game. They might not, so there's a level of our world that says, if you're not doing it big, you're not doing it, right? Success means you're rich. No, success means you pay your bills doing what you want to do. That is actually success. If you're living a middle-class life, but you live that middle-class life doing the thing you enjoy, you are successful. Then you can talk about the levels of success. But the base level of success is living life, doing what you want to do.
I look at people that have no money and they're super successful in my eyes because they're happy, they're healthy, they're in love. Like success is so many things, not so much money. But yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, man. And like I said, I think the first level of this is getting that foundation, financial foundation set up. And I think a lot of people need to just go talk to their parents at first, or their uncle, or people.
But maybe their parents. But you said it earlier, birds of a feather, or, if you are who you surround yourself with. And I think that's important that, if you're hanging with guys that are also doing similar, you guys can all learn from each other. Hey, did you do this?
Completely. And on my side of it, it all goes back to my art. Again, I'm not compelled to become a real estate mogul or an NFT. I don't get that shit, and I honestly don't care. I'm compelled to do these things I'm doing, right? And in this lane, there's a great lane to be in. Praise the Lord that I'm in it. You know what I mean? And that's where I go with it. Yeah, sure. I wish I had someone that understood it. But again, you know what? Who I wish I went to my uncle and said, "Hey, uncle, you're doing real estate. Would you?" Hey, mom, dad, you get these.
What have you learned? Tell me.
Yeah, like there's a not everything has to be. I need to get to Rob. I need to DM him every day, and I can find start with. Do you have an uncle that's doing okay?
Great advice.
Hey, what's your mom and dad doing? Do you have someone in your world that is at least might not be where you want to see yourself, but are they ahead of you? Where are they in this journey?
But with technology now and YouTube, dude, you can go listen to podcasts and watch videos of other people talking about how they got there. I mean, if I'm a young, aspiring director, I'm going to listen to every damn interview you've ever done and try to learn everything that you've learned along the way.
I have a YouTube playlist that's just for filmmaking, and it's lights, story, and I sometimes put it on and let it play, and it's just filmmaking. You know what I mean? Like, again, we now live in a world. When I was young, before YouTube existed, that place was called the bookstore. And you went to the bookstore, and I bought every book I could about filmmaking. So the information's always been out there. There's always been someone who wrote a book. Now there's always someone with a podcast or a channel. There's lots of places to get information. But nothing beats a person an actual person, and especially someone that gives a fuck about you to some level, an uncle, an aunt, a friend, a family friend who wants to see you do well in life. Well, there you go.
What's one thing that you've purchased for, let's say, $500 or less that's been the most impactful in your life?
Those books.
Yeah. But that's the thing. You can buy the books. You got to go and read them and go and, that's the problem. It's like, it's out there, but putting the effort in to go and learn and do it. That's another thing.
I was compelled. I didn't know, I got to read this book. I was compelled to read the book.
Because you were interested. You're passionate.
Yes. What's your passion? What's your compulsion? What's the thing that you feel like doing? Because I guarantee you, your life exists in what you feel like doing, right? Somewhere out there, there's a kid that loves baseball. Not good enough to go pro, but they're good at math. Well, your city fucking team has an accounting department.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you're would you rather be an accountant in some fucking cubicle somewhere that you hate, or would you rather be an accountant for the New York Yankees?
Yeah, and that's the thing, though, too, where sometimes people say, oh, you're never going to get that job at the Yankees. But you won't get the job if you don't go and try.
And again, the universe is at work, so maybe you don't get the Yankees, but maybe these journeys that you take lead you where following your interests is the real key to it all. I'm interested in this, let me go down that road. How many people in the music industry that are part of the essential machinery of it at one point wanted to be an artist themselves? Producers, people who make the music, people who write the songs, people who are managers, road managers. There's a gazillion people that their initial interest in it, it said, I'm going to make it, and I'm going to be the person on the stage. And then the thing didn't work, but they're really good at organizing. I mean, or they're really creative, or they're good with clothes, or you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That you follow your interests and then open yourself up to the opportunity, right? I found filmmaking because I wrote spoken word, and I did an episode, a Rap City in Toronto was on Much Music, the original Rap City, not MTV's Rap City. On Rap City, they did a thing with a bunch of spoken word people. I was one of them. And I looked around and I said to the producer, hey, the intern beforehand had just left and I knew it. I said, who's the new guy? Do you have someone? They said, no, I would like to. And I was able to work this out. So now, because I opened up, hey, here's the thing to do. Made me look around and say, these cameras, directing might be something. You feel what I'm saying? And then just follow what you're interested in. Not everything needs to be a play for a successful material life. And that's another part of it. I wrote poetry because I fucking felt like it.
Yeah.
Right? I helped my friends write their raps. I was writing good little lyrics for them. I was at a poetry show. They said, come up. I read one of the raps. They invited me back. I came. It was, oh man, poetry ain't part of my plan, son. It's not that. Who gives a shit? Stop trying to make everything. Stop trying to make a mansion your end goal. Stop trying to make fucking, you know what I'm saying? That this idea of what the world tells you have to be. Don't do it if it's not aligning with your plan. Do it because you like it. Do you like it? Yeah? Then you should do it. End of story.
Great advice. You'll be a lot more successful if people did that. That's for sure.
Because how many of these guys just tell you need to do something that you're passionate about, and you'll find, like I said, even if you go traditional, there's places you like sports, but you're a doctor. There's following your interests. You can't, don't let the world convince you that. Especially parents, especially immigrant parents. I like hair. Well, you can't do that because whatever. Yeah, you can. But you'll find that these things kind of lead, you know what I'm saying? They merge and lead to these places. Following your interests, and then the universe gets involved. They see you. The spirits see you like, I'm going to help that kid out. You know what I mean? But the deepest, darkest trap is believing that you have to make a choice. If you love painting, but you have a business mind, you have to do business, as opposed to let me do business in the art world. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a place for you to follow your interests. Follow your interests, because I speak to so many people that are upset that they listened to their parents and they didn't do the thing they wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I have a great friend who's an artist, and he was a finance guy in Wall Street for years, and he always wanted to be an artist, and he had a wife and kids, and he's doing the finance because he thought that's what he had to pay his bills, and that's what the family told him to do, and he took a leap and became an artist, got rid of the Wall Street job, and now he's one of the biggest artists in the world. Wow. Crazy. Yeah, I mean, selling paintings for over $1 million now.
Incredible. And he knows what to do with the money. So
the what?
And he knows what to do with the money, so it works out well.
Yeah. So I'm with you. I think it's. Speaking of that, is there anything that you collect? Obviously, I got into baseball cards, heavy.
Yeah.
Do you ever collect baseball cards?
No, I've never baseball cards. I collected comics when I was a kid.
Okay. Yeah.
Not so much anymore. But again, that was building blocks for my artistic style and my understanding of story.
You still have the comics?
I still have it, yeah.
Bro,
hey, maybe. I mean,
you may be buying some new houses.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see. Again, I did it because I love it, right? Collecting now, no, not so much. I collect treatments and scripts that I write. Like I said, I'm in the business of creativity and saying to someone, I got a cool idea. What if robots became, you know what I'm saying? Like this is what my life is. So again, I follow my compulsion.
Oh, by the way, what's Robin? So it's Batman and Robin, I'm assuming?
No, Robin Hood, the Robin Hood legend. Remember Robin Hood?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So right. What's going on there? Can you talk about it?
Yeah. So at the corner of Sherwood and Forest is.
Wow.
You like that, right? You like that. So at the corner of Sherwood and Forest is the Sherwood Towers. It's public housing. And that's where Robin and the Merry Men, that's Robin and all of them, that's where they live. John Prince is an investor. right? And a big part of his investing world is real estate. His father was a real estate guy and all that kind of stuff. And he wants to tear down those housing projects and build big, shiny, badly built, money laundering fucking condos. And this
You're brilliant.
Right. So this is what we're in. So we're having these discussions, right? Especially when it comes to public land. To say, yeah, you all have to move because we feel like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's more money to be made, so all y'all got to fuck off. But this is where we fucking live, right? And then even, you know, these badly built condos. There's just a world of conversations to have about, because it's Robin Hood. We're talking about rich and poor. This is the perfect time to do it. Right?
Wow.
This is,
So didn't Will Smith do something similar with the Fresh Prince? He brought it back, but a whole new take on it.
Yeah, but it's like Fresh Prince meets 90210. So
Okay, got it.
Ours is different in the fact that we're bringing an ancient legend to now, right? And and doing it that way, but still very true to the source material. Being true to the source material is very important to me.
And who picked it up?
Chorus is the broadcaster, and the production company is called Boat Rocker. Now, I don't know if you remember, there was a show called Orphan Black that used to be around for a while. Those are the same people that made Orphan Black.
Wow, good work. Amazing. What a great idea.
Thanks, man.
Oh,
Well,
I know that you're also about the world and climate change.
Yes.
Okay,
The
well,
world in
let's talk
general.
about
The world in general, yeah. We got a lot of things going on, man.
Yeah, because I recently launched an ETF about to halt climate change. That's kind of my next couple decades super passion is to halt that. So, and I know that you're about that too. So, tell me about it. Do you think?
We're doing great damage to our planet. And even if you're a climate change skeptic, let's start there. Even if you're listening to us right now, climate change is a hoax. Okay. Let's say it is. Every single thing that we say applies to climate change, the things that are destroying our planet because of climate change, even if we remove that, they all pollute the planet. They all destroy the planet to unlivable degrees. There is no way to get around the way we drill and find our power, our energy, the way we get our food. Right, the oil spills that destroy entire ecosystems, the waste that causes the red algae in Florida every year. Right, there's nothing that we do that we say we need to stop doing because of climate change that we don't need to stop doing because it destroys our planet. Period. End of story. So there's no argument to be had in climate change as a hoax. So sure, I'll give you that. It's a fucking hoax. Let's play that game. Doesn't change the fact we can't drill this way. We can't make our food this way. We can't build this way. We can't keep cutting down this forest. Nothing changes in the conversation about our responsibility to the planet. And for the real fact that if we keep on fucking it up, we could die. You understand? If we can't, we have a bee issue. We have a bird issue. We're in the 6th mass extinction right now. The amount of plant life, animal life, microbial life that is going extinct. This is the 6th mass extinction happening right now. You understand? Our topsoil in the next 60 years, we won't be able to grow the same amount of food with the proper amount of nutrients. 60 years. We're at critical levels of absolutely everything, right?
So and how do you fix it? I mean, what's your opinion on that? Can you fix it? Is it too late?
No. The greed of our society is so great. The greed. I personally feel that without a full societal collapse, a full rising of the people to say, do what we say or we're going to chop your heads off. You know what I'm saying? Without that level of demand, we're never going to stop. Right? We're never going to stop. There's just too much money to be made. And then there's also the worst case scenario where we do fuck it all up and just a few people survive and they got to move on. You know what I'm saying? But I grew up camping every summer. And I remember very clearly one summer, all the, minnows, the little fish.
Oh, yeah.
They all died.
Really?
The beaches were covered in their bodies. A couple, like 4 feet on every single beach of dead minnows. And for a few years, it took a while for the beaches to kind of eat it up in the water and for them to dissolve. But you go swimming and there'd be dead bodies of minnows on yourself. And then for a few years, you saw nothing. They were just gone. And then one summer I was there, and I saw a little school of minnows in the water. When I was young, there was tons of them.
Dude, I'm with you, and that's why this thing for me was such a big passion. So I've even invested into a company. It's a Switzerland company called Climeworks, and they make a big factory that's in Iceland called Orca, and it takes the air out of the atmosphere and removes the carbon, and so it's reversing climate change and then shoves it into the ground. But so I pay a monthly fee, or in the fund, the ETF, pay a monthly fee. Just like we're removing carbon on our behalf, but
it's amazing.
That's a small thing. But one of those factories is like 40 million trees being planted.
Yeah. There's a way through it if we mobilize. What we have going on is an entire planet with nothing to do.
Yeah.
So everyone's chasing the fucking material thing, the success, the pleasure, right? Because there's no one saying we all need to do this, right? And until that happens, look, bro, I believe we are standing at the collapse of our civilization.
Yeah.
And then whatever starts next, which we need to. Beyond just not wanting to be in a crumbling building, this building is fucked. It needs to come down. It is what the fuck it is. Again, there's 2 ways out of it. You say this building needs to be condemned, everyone get out, we tear it down and we build something new, or everyone lives in it and it crumbles down on top of everyone's heads. Either way, the building's coming down. This cannot be it's the 21st century. It's the 21st century.
So I think there's always a way that we could slow it down and try to fix it. But yeah, it's not easy.
Look, hey, bro, we're the group of people that are like, the building's coming down.
Yeah.
We can start drawing plans for when it comes down.
Yeah.
Right. But it's the shame is that there's people like, it's not coming down. No, don't worry about it. Someone will figure it out.
Well, I tell you, I'm so proud of you, though. Keep doing it, though. But yeah, we got to touch base more often, and I appreciate you, dude. You are the man. You really are.